A man from East Providence, the first in the world now to undergo a heart procedure as part of a new study looking at ways to fix atrial fibrillation without damaging healthy heart cells.
And that procedure was performed locally in Fall River. Our Kate Walsh spoke to the cardiology team inside of the hospital to explain why this study is considered groundbreaking.
The new procedure is called pulsed field ablation, and the goal of the study is to see if it is just as effective in preventing stroke caused by atrial fibrillation as blood thinners are. The goal in the long run would be that people would no longer have to take the daily medication, instead just having this one-time procedure done.
Atrial fibrillation, or AFib, is a serious heart condition when cells misfire electric current, setting your heart's rhythm off beat. It can lead to a stroke, which is why patients often take blood thinners. But in this heart lab at Charlton Memorial Hospital in Fall River, a new type of procedure was performed as an alternative to taking daily blood thinners. The cardiac electrophysiologists here at South Coast Health take pride in being the first in the world to perform this procedure as part of a new widespread study. They explain pulsed field ablation is performed through a catheter that's fed up the vein in the leg into the heart.
What it is it delivers 2-second electrical shocks that create, or electrical impulses that create irreversible pores in the cell membrane. So rather than taking a cell and burning or freezing and destroying the actual cell, causing necrosis or tissue destruction, you are just putting tiny little pores in the cells, and the abnormal cells become dysfunctional.
The patients that are candidates for the trial are ones that have tried a medicine, an antiarrhythmic medicine that hasn't worked, and they keep having atrial fibrillation. So that's specifically for this trial.
Dr. G, as he's called, was the one to actually perform the first pulsed field ablation at Charlton. It's been studied in animals for a few years, but only 50 patients in the world at 3 other clinics were part of the preliminary trial. Charlton was the first to do it in a broader study among patients in the U.S., Canada, Europe, and Australia.
South Coast Health's Cardiovascular Care Center at Charlton Memorial Hospital in Fall River has, yet again, been selected for several studies aiming to change the way heart treatment is done. 12 News reporter Kate Walsh went into the heart lab to show us why doctors there believe this heart center is unique from others in the region.
Charlton Memorial Hospital in Fall River is not a teaching hospital, yet time and time again, it's being chosen to participate in these worldwide and world-class studies. So I found out why South Coast Health is becoming a popular option for heart procedures in our region.
Being a hospital and, within 45 minutes of Boston and 20 minutes of Providence, patients have a choice. I mean, they can go, they can jump in a car and go to Boston or go to Providence, but they don't, because they know what we have here and they stay here.
Dr. Peter Cohn is the physician-in-chief at the South Coast Health's Cardiovascular Care Center. He credits the center's unified approach to heart health for their national and global recognition in the past few years.
We have a team approach. We talk amongst the electrophysiologists, the cardiologists, cardiac surgeons, and we have combined programs that to address things like AFib that cross multiple modalities.
The doctor's approach to preventing AFib, as he mentioned, or atrial fibrillation, is the focus of 2 major studies at Charlton Memorial Hospital right now. One involves a device called the Watchman.
This is a seminal trial that will decide whether Watchman could be a first-line therapy for people with AFib and preventing stroke. So there's a lot of excitement in the community.
Cardiologists here have implanted the Watchman in patients for years. The device is fed up the vein in the leg into the heart. It's mesh siding allowing blood to pump through while preventing clotting, which leads to stroke. This new study looks at how effective it is as an alternative to newer types of daily blood thinner medication.
It opens up the repertoire of what we have to offer patients.
And he said it also keeps doctors at the cutting edge of heart health technology.
On 12 News this morning, I showed you how an East Providence man was the first in the world to have had a heart procedure done on him at Charlton as part of a new study. You can learn much more about that and other procedures they offer on our website at WPRI.com. I'm Kate Walsh, 12 News.